Welcome back to UK Theme Parks, and we are not massive coaster cred people in terms of making a list. This has taken me a long time to do, but here is our coaster cred list. We don't travel a lot outside the UK, but we'll start with the UK theme parks one by one. This is what we've ridden. So first, Adventure Island in the UK down in Southend. Standard rides here, currently open, Barnstormer, Green Scream, Kiddie Coaster, Mighty Mini Mega, and of course the Gerstlauer Rage. Probably the best roller coaster down there, and a cracking little one at that. Moving on to the next one, Adventure Wonderland just has the one roller coaster, which is Wild Bill's Runaway Train. Nothing special, nothing really to write home about there, to be honest with you. We then move on to Alton Towers, and there's a couple here that I'm really pleased I managed to get on, and it's quite an extensive list. We've been visiting Alton Towers since 1990. So, Galactica, 13, Nemesis, Wickerman, Oblivion, Beastie, Oxonauts, Black Hole, Rita, Corkscrew, Runaway Mine Train, Mini Apple, Smiler, New Beast, Spinball Whizzer, and Thunder Looper. So obviously the New Beast and the Thunder Looper top, and even the Black Hole, to be fair, top of my rides at Alton Towers. Really happy I managed to get on the Thunder Looper, to be honest with you. We then move on to Bayside up in Scarborough. Just the one ride there we went on, which was a crazy caterpillar ride. Moving on from there, we head over to Black Gang Chine on the Isle of Wight. Again, just a one roller coaster there. We've ridden, they have had another one in the past, and it's currently the Cliffhanger ride. From there, we wander to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and again, we did miss a lot of the old rides at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but there is one in particular we did manage to ride. So we have kind of ones that are open, including Avalanche, but we did get on Space Invader 2, Wild Mouse, Steeplechase, Big Dipper, Revolution, Big One, Nickelodeon Street, Blue Flyer, Grand National, Icon, and Infusion. As we said, really happy to have got on Space Invader 2 before it moved to Breen. Talking about Breen is next up. Now, we haven't included Space Invader, which is the Astro Storm, in our count. So Astro Storm, Caterpillar, Crazy Loop, and Magic Mouse. As we said, we've not included Astro Storm in the count at the end. Moving on from Breen Theme Park. Brighton Pier. Now, Brighton Pier hasn't also had many coasters over the time. It currently sits with two, which is the Crazy Mouse and the hugely uncomfortable Turbo Ride. Yep, really uncomfortable ride. From Brighton, we head to Camelot, now defunct Camelot Park. Again, felt really lucky to get here on Camelot. Sadly, Nightmare was closed, wasn't quite finished on the day we went, so we got the Caterpillar, the diesel-powered Dragonfly, and of course Whirlwind, which was a cracking spinning coaster. Sadly, no Nightmare. From there, we move on to Chessington World of Adventures, which again hasn't been blessed with very many roller coasters in the park. So, Vampire, Scorpion Express, Rattlesnake, Dragon's Fury, and I did get on the Clown Coaster when I was much younger. And that's it, that's all Chessington had, unbelievably, over its long period of time since 1987. Clarence Pier, just down the road from me here. Home to, of course, Skyways, which left, replaced by the Mad Mouse, Tidal Wave, and of course they had the Speedy Coaster as well. I can't remember whether or not I got on the Cyclone that was there. It was a long time ago, so these are the four which I'm counting in my list. From Clarence, we move on to Creeley. We went down to Creeley in Devon, which is home to a couple of roller coasters, which includes the Maximus Coaster, Shark Bay, lovely little coaster, and the Twister Coaster, which was brand new when we went for that one. From Creeley, we head to Drayton Manor. Now again, some of the Drayton Manor rides I missed, but we caught down in Funland a bit later on. So Drayton Manor ones include Accelerator, Buffalo, Shockwave, Troublesome Trucks, and G-Force, the recently closed X-Car coaster. So yeah, not many at Drayton Manor, to be fair. From Drayton though, we do move down to Dreamland. Now, I was lucky enough to go to Dreamland when I was much younger, and the only coaster I remember riding there was the Lupin Star. There may have been more, because there's been quite a lot there, but this is the only one I can remember to count. Scenic Railway, and of course the recent addition in Pinball X, the park spinning coaster, make up the list of 3. We then move up to Fantasy Island. We have been there. We haven't been there for a long time, to be fair, but we have been there. That includes Millennium Odyssey, Ice Mountain, Fantasy Mouse. As far as I'm aware, these were 2 different over the time, and Rhombus Rocket as well. So some of them still there. One of them, of course, has moved on. Flamingo Land up in Yorkshire. Now, again, we weren't around for the kind of the really old rides here, but we have obviously done Dino Roller, Hero, Kamali, Mumbo Jumbo, Runaway Mine Train, Twistosaurus, Velocity Zoom, and again, I felt quite lucky to get on the Corkscrew, which I found really, really comfortable. I really love that Corkscrew. Funland down in Haylen Island, which is our local park. This is where we picked up some of the Drayton Manor rides, including the Thunderlandsaurus and Klondike. It was also home to Woody's Coaster. I did get on the old Cyclone, I do remember that back in the day. And of course the only coaster currently there, which is the Runaway Mine Train. Off to Pleasure Beach in Great Yarmouth, the Crazy Caterpillar was a relocation, but we have a couple of rides there which we've been on, which include the Family Star and Roller Coaster. We haven't been on a little figure of 8 SBF ride as it stands, but we will certainly look for that one this year to add the extra cred. Gulliver's UK, which is the Milton Keynes one, was home to the Pythons, no longer there, but also home to Crazy Mouse and Runaway Train. I believe they also have a little spinny coaster as well now. From Gulliver's, we move on to Harbour Park down in Littlehampton. Now, we do remember getting on the Cyclone ride here. It was very, very popular back in the day. In addition to that, they have a Crazy Caterpillar, which is currently themed as the Ocean Coaster. It's an ocean theme they have going on down there. Joyland in the UK is home to the Tubs. Oh, make sure you get on the Tubs. It's a one of a kind. Also, they have the Little Spook Express, which is the family ride which goes above the park. From Joyland, we head over to Knowsley Safari Park, which is home to a Crazy Caterpillar. That Crazy Caterpillar is the quite long-standing rattlesnake, so certainly a cred to get. From here, we head to Legoland in the UK. Now, we were lucky enough to get on the Jungle Coaster, with and without its wonderful little enclosed area that it had over the cars. Also, obviously, the Dragon's Apprentice and the Dragon are there, and of course this year we are looking forward to getting on the new Dino Duplo coaster. From here we head to Lightwater Valley. Then we missed quite a lot of the old rides at Lightwater Valley. It was kind of before our time of travelling up there, but current rides including Ladybird, Big Dipper, Raptor Attack and Ultimate. We also did get on the Grizzly Bear when it was there, and of course the Twister, which of course had the sad accident last year in 2019. Paulson's Park in the UK is an ever-growing park. It's had some rides in the past which were before we managed to get there, but current coasters include Caterpillar, Cobra, Dino Chase, Flight of the Pterosaur and Velociraptor, and of course that will be joined by Storm Chaser this year in the new Tornado Springs. We head over to Pleasureland in the UK. Pleasureland, we haven't ridden many rides at, to be perfectly honest with you. In fact, just the roller coaster. The rather uncomfortable roller coaster ride. From Pleasureland, we head to Pleasurewood Hills. Again, we missed a few of the old rides at Pleasurewood Hills, and indeed, obviously, the Boomerang, which was relocated, we never went on, but we went on Rattlesnake, which is now the Express, Marble Madness, which we also rode at Flamingo Land, and the Cannonball Express, as well as Wipeout. From Pleasurewood Hills, we head over to the South Parade Pier, which is just down the road from me in Portsmouth. They had the Happy Caterpillar for 2019. We actually missed this when it was at Clarence Pier, so this is the only place we've ridden this one. South Pier in Blackpool is home to the cracking spinning coaster, the Crazy Coaster. It really is a really good spinning coaster, that one. Probably the best operating one we have in the UK. Fort Park. Famous Fort Park. Actually haven't really got rid of any rides, to be honest with you. All the S's in Stealth, Swarm and Soar, Nemesis Inferno, Flying Fish, we rode a Space Station Zero, Colossus and of course Walking Dead, previously XX No Way Out. Fort Park over to West Midlands Safari Park, which is home to a few coasters. One of them we missed. The Twisting Coaster was sadly closed when we went, but African Big Apple and the Rhino Coaster added to our cred count from West Midlands Safari Park. We then head to Winter Wonderland. So outside of the theme parks now, we are on to the fairs. Now we will just say with the fairs, we're only listing ones we can guarantee that we've been on. Christmas Coaster and Munich Loop-In Coaster we've been on at Winter Wonderland. But you know, as we get into the fair list here, you know, it's very, very difficult. We've not really kept track. We've not kept track of where we've been. We've not really kept track of the Crazy Caterpillars, which arguably it would be, or the Runaway Mine Train. So just bear that in mind. At the Goose Fair, Tsunami, really fortunate we got on that when it travelled at the Goose Fair, Magic Mouse and Wild Mouse. Now on the generic Showman one coming up, again, we've only used local ones. We have definitely been on more than these, and we will have to start, well, if we want to, we'll start keeping count now. Kind of locally, we've had a couple of Caterpillars down here, the classic Chance Toboggan ride, a real one-of-the-kind experience in the UK, and the Runaway Train, which goes around the south as well. Over to Benidorm now, outside the UK, Terra Mythica. I'm not going to try and pronounce all of these, but Magnum Colossus sits as the worst roller coaster I've ever been on. Yeah, the Intamin Zack Spin, quality ride, really enjoyed that. I know it's not very well liked, but really enjoyed that. From here we head to Portaventura. We've not been to Ferrari Land yet, however have kept kind of count of the Portaventura ones, which include Diablo, the stunning Dragon Khan, the rather uncomfortable Furious Baco, amazing Shambhala, Stampedia, and the Tomahawk ride. So quite a few from over there. Head out to Florida now for SeaWorld. SeaWorld is home to my favourite coaster outside the UK and one of my favourite coasters, Manta. I absolutely adore this flying coaster. I thought it was incredible. The Water Coaster Journey to Atlantis, Kraken, which I found a bit dull, and the Boxcar Derby, formerly Shamu, when we went on it back in 2014. Disney, we're just going to kind of clump Disney as a whole. Disneyland Space Mountain, lovely little coaster, rock and roll coaster, really good. Big Thunder Mountain I found a bit disappointing. Expedition Everest, the Vekoma coaster was something else, really special ride, worth going to Animal Kingdom for alone. From Disney, we head to Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens are home to some cracking roller coasters, including one of my favourites again in Cheetah Hunt, Kumba, Montu, Sand Serpent, Scorpion, Shikra, and we were lucky enough to get on Gwazi as well. It was only one side open when we went, not sure which one it was towards the end, but Gwazi we managed to get on before its conversion to an RMC this year. Universal Islands of Adventure, we're kind of combining together Hulk, arguably the worst B&M I've ever been on. I absolutely hated it. It was before the retrack. I remember saying that it needed a retrack and everyone ripped me for it. Then they did it. Escape from Gringotts, stunning. Mummy, stunning. Rip Ride Rockets, okay. Flight of the Hippogriff, and we only got on blue side of the Dragon Challenge before it closed. So that's it, that's our coaster count. This is a count we've put together. It's a count that we can, the only ones we can guarantee going on. We could probably add another 30, 40 travelling rides to this, and it stands at 127. We certainly have a lot more adventuring to do around the world in later years. However, do you keep count of your coaster creds? We really want to know, do you keep count of them? If so, what's your number? Whereabouts have you been? There's a lot of people I know that follow the channel that go around Europe and indeed go around America as well, so we really want to know if you count them. If you don't count them, just enjoy riding them. Let us know in the comments below. We'd like to know also, what is your kind of most grateful roller coaster that you've been on? It might still be operating, but kind of in the back end of nowhere. It might be something like ours, which is the Thunder Looper, which we're really pleased to have got on. Thank you for joining us here on UK Theme Parks. We sure hope you enjoyed the Coaster Cred videos, and be sure to get involved in the comments below. See you soon.